Okay, Wincomers, let's try to start a new race. And this would be a new race under races from the admin menu. We'll click new. We'll furnish a race ID. Tourist race IDs are always one, trainers or races, doesn't matter. Unicon race IDs, your trainer is always one, and then you use whatever number you want besides one for the race, as in 2, 3, 4, 5. Benzene trainer race ID is always 48, and if it's an actual race, then you would select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will match what when you set the race up in your benzene M1 clock. In other words, under the when it says flight, and it gives you a choice of 1 through 47, that number will have to match this number. A trainer race ID for the benzene clock is 48, and that's what the clock will always send when it's clocking trainers. Here's our race name code. We'll just accept the default of T and then today's date. This is not an important field anymore. Under the race report display name, we're going to say trainer 25 miles. We're going to make this a T race, which is a trainer. If we put a capital A there, it would be on the race list and it would be an average speed race. If we put a capital B in this field, it would be on the race list but not in the calculations for average speed. And then Z as in zebra, it would be a race that would only display to the administrators. The public could not, it wouldn't show on the race list or the trainer list. Our liberation date, we'll select today's date. Just by clicking the little calendar icon, we want to make sure that that's the proper date that's displaying there. Military time for our liberation. And then our station, we're going to do 25 miles today. And these are all the fields that you need to put in to start a race in the beginning. Down here at the bottom, if you check this box, you're going to send an email of every arrived pigeons to the breeder as they arrive. Just gives them an alert that you're doing something, you're training that day. This screen, if we click submit, we would insert this over onto the Wincompanion front page under current races, but we don't want to do that, so we'll just return to the current list of races. And we want to get back to the admin menu, so we can click the admin button no matter where we are. If we are logged in, then just click that admin button and it'll send you back to your admin menu. So we're back to our list under races, and here is, let's see what we've got here. It's just a blank race, so let's go back and let's delete. We're going to delete this one, race and birds. Now if you deleted here, you would only delete the birds out of the race, but we're going to get rid of the whole thing and just click on the delete button and it's gone. Okay, now we can edit today's race, and here it might be in the morning, and now we know that the weather was clear here at the arrival and at the release point. We can put in the wind, we can put in the temperature. If we had a point system, we would put that in here, and what this one right here says is our first bird is going to get 100 points, and it's going to be one bird per block. So one bird for each prize, and it's going to decrement by one, meaning first will get 100, second will get 99, third will get 98, etc. And it's going to stop at 0. So it's going to pay out all the points all the way down to 0. The first 100 pigeons are going to get points under this particular scenario. The other thing you could do is if you decided you didn't want to send the emails, you would just take the check mark out of the checkbox, and now the emails would not be sent. You could update the birds and the lofts are filled in automatically from the bird table. And if for some reason you haven't kept your bird table up to date, maybe you only had 5 birds today instead of 6, you could edit that there. And that's about it. So we'll update the record. And now you can see we've got our release is at 9 o'clock still, 25 miles. And let's see, what else do we need to talk about on that screen? we'll look at the race report itself. Anytime you see these yellow columns, they are editable. And let me go back to admin and show you what I'm talking about. If we create the basket list, in other words, we're gonna take and submit the birds in that race that where eligible equals yes. And now if we go and look at the races and we view that race, we see we've put all the birds in the race. These yellow columns, these are editable. So if you wanted to put your prize money in here, or maybe you're just going to say that this is the first drop and this is the first drop, whatever. And if you had a special point system and you needed to allocate the points separately, you could do that over here, filling in these columns. The other thing we should look at are the edit and delete buttons. You'll rarely ever edit a bird's arrival time, or a clocking record. But if there were something to edit, you would click here, and it would give you everything that there is to know about that pigeon, and you could edit these columns. But like I say, there's rarely an instance where you're going to edit anything. Occasionally, you will want to delete a bird. Say that this bird had been disqualified, he hadn't been paid for, and somehow he got shipped. We can just click there and we can delete him. If we ever wanted to insert a bird manually, and this happens quite often, the only bird we can insert manually is number 6, and we'll select today's date, and we'll just put him in with a 0 for arrival times, because he isn't clocked. We just want him to be put back on the race list so that he will clock when the birds start clocking when they come home. And at any rate, I think that is about it.